So on the path to enlightenment, sometimes we get these glimpses or experiences of no mind. We get these glimpses of awareness. And I'm not talking about a visual glimpse. It's more so just a description of you become aware that you're aware. I'm aware that I'm aware, right? You're always aware, right? But awareness of awareness. Well, now that I said it, are you aware that you're aware? Yes, but that's not there all the time. And what you'll notice is when you are aware of being aware, there's no mind, and you're only aware of yourself. It's like, yes, there seems to be things in the world and the body and the mind and all this, but as soon as being aware of being aware, there's now this kind of turning back, or it feels like reserving that attention, or not all of the attention's going out. There seems to be an awareness of the subject and the object, but now the attention's now focusing on the object. So anyway, as that's kind of happening, you get kind of these feelings of, I have it, I lost it, I have it, I lost it, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. How can I just abide as awareness? How can I stay in that highly alert yet completely restful state? Right? And at this time, it does feel like a state because it feels like it's coming and going. But really, it's not coming and going. It's always here. Right? What's coming and going is just the attention on the objects in the mind, on the objects of the world, on the objects of the body, right? Nice. And it kind of goes back, right? Where if it stays on the pure subject, the self, right? I'm not pointing to my body, by the way. I'm just kind of this way. On the self, then there's like a feeling like you're bathing in the bliss. You're bathing here, but then when I can't pinpoint when it will happen, by the way, but there's this, it feels like it's a transformation. It feels like there's a turning point, or it feels like there's a shift where it's like, I'm bathing in the bliss, to then I am the bliss, right? You're like walking around. I'm experiencing the nothingness, right? I'm seeing the nothingness. Not that there's anything to see. It's blackness, blankness. But there's this kind of like, the seeing of awareness, that you're seeing the blankness. You're aware of the nothingness. And then there's this switch. I am the nothingness, right? It's kind of like getting too close to the sun. You hang around the sun too much and you're going to get burnt and you become the sun, right? You become a flame. You're in that, right? And that's kind of like flying too close to the sun. You'll also notice that the more you see, because I got to speak from like this, the separate self. Here's the separate self, and it's like, I'm going to the source. I'm going to connect to the source. Oh, I'm disconnected. Right? Disconnected. Oh, let me connect. Plug in. Rejuvenation, restfulness, completeness, wholeness. And then, I'm disconnected, right? Kind of feels like that. At the start. Just coming and going, connection, disconnection. You get a taste of it, your true nature. It starts calling you. It starts calling you, starts yelling, come back. But it's not an actual voice. It's talking to you in silence, which then you might ask, how is that even possible? Exactly. It's something that your mind can't grasp. It's beyond the mind. Your heart starts calling you home, right? The heart of awareness starts calling you home. And you just kind of start wanting to be more silent. You start wanting to be more still. You start wanting to be more meditative. You start wanting to be more natural. You start wanting to be more limitless. You start wanting to be more free. Any of these feelings really is that calling back, right? And when you know how to just do nothing, the art of doing nothing, and just simply be, then you can say you're touching your being. You're in that dimension of being, the deeper dimension, the essence, whatever you want to call it. And it starts dissolving you more and more, right? So whatever metaphor you like, better, being too close to the sun, and then all the lies are burnt, and the only thing that survives that is what is real, the truth. You can say that, or you can say like you're made up of salt and you go and take a little swim in the ocean of infinite love, and everything you thought you were dies, drowns and dies in that infinite ocean, that ocean of infinite love. And you don't come out of the ocean. You become the ocean. You dissolve into the ocean, right? So whatever one you like, but it's this kind of getting familiar. At the start, it feels like you're going somewhere, right? That you're tapping into it, that you're connecting to it. So what can really help is really getting into that sweet spot. This is where language really, it sucks because it doesn't describe actually what's happening. But we got to try. But when you feel like you're able to get in there quicker and really enjoy it, and with more frequency, with more practice, it's bound to happen. It's bound to you're just bound to dissolve. But the salt can only dissolve when the salt's in the ocean, you could say, right? You can only plug in when you get close enough to the socket to plug in, right? The lies get burnt only when you're close enough to the sun to burn them, right? So that's where the direct transmission, the source transmission, the truth transmission can really help, because it can put you into that state instantly if you're open enough, if you've removed enough of yourself that's in the way, if you've become vulnerable and open and expose yourself, and you've let go enough, you're surrendered enough, you can say, then the transmission can put you in that state, you can say, or connect you, or it's like the sun's coming closer to you kind of thing. It's pulling you in. You might be able to feel it. depending on how sensitive you are to it. Sensitive to the energy, not ego sensitivity. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Not that. Sensitive to the high frequency energy, the universal energy. So you can get a taste of it, maybe like 5 minutes or so, and just see what happens. So just make sure that you're nice and relaxed, and go ahead and just close your eyes. Make sure that you're in a nice open state, that you're not trying to create any expectations. Just simply remain in a state of not knowing. And when you start feeling like you're being absorbed in it, or you're melting, or you're dissolving, don't try and control it. Don't try and resist it. Just let it happen. And just simply be silent and be still. And let's slowly open our eyes and gently come back. So depending on how open you are, and you're able to receive that transmission, which is always here and now, and it helps. It helps you still the mind, helps remove blockages, helps purify the mind, helps cleanse your energy so that you're able to kind of feel like your attention relaxes from the disturbed mind, from the turbulent mind. And then it feels like you're just resting in yourself as yourself, that you become more still, you become more silent. And that's what I was saying, is there's a point where there's not you and the silence, there's just the silence. There's not you and the stillness, there's just the stillness. The two are one. And what you're actually aware of is your true nature. I'll see you in the next one.